Universities will be ready with their revised disciplinary frameworks on sexual misconduct by August. That's the start of the new academic year. The schools could also take their cue from the National University of Singapore, which released a report by a review committee yesterday, giving details of recommended measures. Li Ying tells us more.
Sexual misconduct on campus has been in the spotlight recently following a spate of voyeurism incidents in universities. Now, 3 peeping Tom cases were reported to the Nanyang Technological University in the period from April to May. Meanwhile, a student from the National University of Singapore was charged with criminal trespass in May for allegedly filming a female student in the showers. In a media statement to CNA, NTU, which began its review late last year, said they will hold discussions and engage with student leaders in the process. The Singapore Management University said that it is considering international best practices and consulting staff, student leaders and alumni for the review. 3 universities added that they could be taking reference from NUS. One of their new key measures is the setting up of a dedicated victim care unit, which will be the central point of contact for victims of sexual misconduct. While NUS did not share more details on how the units will be structured or run, the school has put out job advertisements for case officers who will be responding to victims and liaising with external parties like the police, hospital and lawyers. It is also looking to hire research fellows who will develop and streamline operating processes for the centre, train staff who come into contact with victims, and design activities like awareness workshops. Gender Equality Group Aware, which has been running a sexual assault care centre for 5 years, said the university has consulted them on how best to run the victim care unit. Ideally, the unit should be a one-stop centre where victims can get access to counselling, legal help, as well as support groups. Case officers need to understand the effects of trauma on a sexual assault victim, the different reactions they may have, and think on their feet in managing different cases.
I'll give you an example. A lot of survivors are not sure whether they want to make a police report. So during the time that they take to make a police report, a case manager should be able to also offer other practical information like health-related information. So a case manager would tell the survivor things like, okay, if you want to take some time, that's fine. Maybe you want to consider taking a morning after pill within the 72 hours. You may want to consider going for STI/STD check.
It will also be crucial for the victim care units to have good relationships with other partners.
It is important for a victim care unit to have a working relationship with key players in the system like the police, hospitals, sometimes even the courts, and maybe MOM for certain groups. This is important because different survivors have different needs. One other reason why it's extremely important to have working relationships such that you can refer is so that the survivors don't have to repeat their story all over again. It's well documented that if it's not done in the most conducive way, talking about situations like sexual assault can re-traumatize survivors.
NUS will be sharing more details on its implementation plan for the new measures in the upcoming days.